Brae Richardson is an event planner, a public relations guru, an influencer, and now the owner of her own clothing company called the Brae Collection. I talk one-on-one with Brae about the Brae Collection for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Brae Richardson, welcome back to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Needless to say, you are an event planner, an entrepreneur, a public relations guru, an influencer, and obviously now an owner of your own clothing company. And I know just recently on your Instagram bio, it says this: brand ing plus event management plus hustler. Let me ask you this, Brae. How do you hustle while branding and event managing in this area today?
I just feel like I'm constantly having my foot on the pulse in events. So recently I joined back with the Charleston Wine and Food team. So in addition to that, I'm also doing some event management for a few other local businesses in Charleston and then running my own business. So I'm continuously hustling around. So,
and this might be a redundant question, but who is Brae Richardson right now?
Brae Richardson just turned 30 last week.
Birthday again.
Thank you. So Brae Richardson is continuously growing. That's who I would say Brae Richardson is, continuously evolving and growing.
How has the clothing company have grown and actually allowed you to be who you are today?
I think just in terms of the clothing company, it was something that I kind of always wanted to do. And, COVID was such just one of those things where you were constantly in the house. And so that was where, I did a lot of my research. Growing up a little Black girl, I had just insecurities about my skin tone. So I wanted to definitely just have tones of just browns and nudes and just colors for, women to feel good. So that's something that just helped me, grow the business and just sitting and researching and just things that I wanted to do.
How do you feel now?
How do I feel now in terms of the business or just
business and uplifting women as you do around now?
I feel, I guess gratitude would be that's something that I've continuously been just practicing and preaching and talking about. So just gratefulness and really just thankful that, people are supporting me, even if people are not purchasing, they're sharing stuff, or, they're giving me advice. So I'm just in the space of just gratitude and gratefulness and just, like I said, just always are just thankful for growth and thankful for evolution. So that's just kind of the space that I'm in right now, or how I feel right now.
Yeah, right now. And when it comes to the clothing company, who is Brae Richardson now versus August 25th?
Brae Richardson now, in terms of August 25th, is more patient. I think that a lot of times people get into entrepreneurship roles, and I've been in an entrepreneurship role for a while, but I think that just this business, the clothing, and just, having an e-commerce business is just different. So I am more patient. I'm leaning on my resources more. So I have friends that are also in the business. So I'm actually just trying to get, their opinion on things, learning from them, taking their advice, but also just troubleshooting on my own as well. So I'm definitely more patient in that realm and just also, really trusting the process.
What is the process?
The process is stepping out on faith, following your gut, just literally just doing it and getting it done, waking up early to make sure that it's done and staying up late, but also, incorporating time for yourself and working out and, that sleep is important. So the process is continuous. Everything is not for everybody. So, I always tell people who are getting into just business in general, like, here are some of my tidbit points and tips for you, but this may work for you. This did not work for me. So just that is the process, figuring out what works best for you.
What was your business plan before the clothing company?
in terms of just like what I was going to do next sort of thing, well, I knew that I wanted to go back with the Charleston Wine and Food team. That was something, before the pandemic, that was my first festival and I loved it. It was like just really like a hierarchy of events for me and my business. And I felt like, I just felt at home there. So I knew that that was my plan before that. But then just really taking the time to rest, because I was always on go mode. And so I didn't realize how important that was. And just taking time to self-care, read, meditate, learn about me, and then just, not have such an urgency on things. That was what was important for me. So
What have you learned about you since this clothing company has been launched?
What have I learned? Besides having to deal with my own finances and filing my taxes and stuff like that, I learned that I just piggybacking on patience. I don't like not knowing something, so I have to really be patient with myself. Be careful with myself and just not beat myself up. Like, it's okay that you don't know. So that was like a learning experience for me. And just really embracing learning and embracing research, embracing, this is something new for you.
What do you know now about entrepreneurship that you didn't know before launching your clothing company?
I think with clothing, it's a little bit different. So, just having to wait, I think in event management, I always have to plan things out anyway, but it's more so of a get it done. Like, somebody's going to be able to pick up the phone to get me a case of champagne if I need it. Like, you just figure it out. This time it's like, oh no, October 15th is your deadline to get this order in, or, have this shipped, because, I'm dealing with vendors from LA. I'm dealing with people out of the country. So just really, really being diligent with my time management.
Wow. And October 15th was obviously my birthday a couple of weeks ago. But let me ask you, you talked earlier about the resources that you are actually getting from some of your friends and also troubleshooting. What have you been able to troubleshoot?
Just like myself.
And the business.
I think just troubleshooting, just really, I feel like a Shopify guru. Like, I feel like I'm besties with my website. I'm able to help others with my website. That was big for me because I, outsourced someone great to assist me with my website and just, create it. But I was really, once she was like, hey, this is it, you have to do this on your own. Like, I really had to learn that. So I do feel like I had to troubleshoot that. And then also just, like a lot of people who are in retail, just having to, you got to file every month your sales tax. I had to troubleshoot and learn that. The ladies at the Department of Revenue, they're very helpful, but I had to learn those things on my own before, I can hire an accountant full time. So those are things that I feel like, okay, you're doing really well in troubleshooting on your own.
Yes, and speaking of which, you said this on your website. I am Brae Richardson, a boss babe from Charlotte, North Carolina, and the owner of the Brae Collection. I am passionate about hand selecting, organizing, and presenting the latest fashions and accessories. What latest fashions and accessories resembles you?
I think, like I have really gotten into my season of chocolate tones. And so I think are the latest things that have represented me. I really just, I think chocolate is in. A lot of times we weren't embracing those colors. And so that's something that really represents me. My nails are always brown. I love the color brown. And so I'm just trying to, embrace different styles that are in tones of nudes and browns.
As a matter of fact, the Brae Collection includes statement pieces personally curated by you, including some of your favorite, timeless, and classic clothing and jewelry pieces. Which ones are those, and which ones are your favorites?
I'm a sweatshirt girl. I love sweatshirts. I love hoodies. I love hats. So I would say just sweatpants. Those are my favorite. I've kind of coined the term, but if I want to be like Erin cute, so like a runaround cute outfit, the sets are like my favorite. So there's like a chocolate set that's my favorite. And then there's the classic airport babe that we're going to be restocking soon. But the idea behind it is just comfortable, cute, and chic. If you run into somebody, they're not like, you look horrible. She looks cute. She had a tracksuit on, from the Brae Collection. So those are like my classic and my favorites.
What item has been the most bestseller for you, right, thus far?
I would say Airport Babe. That's one. There's our sweatpants. They sold out pretty quickly, and then it's called the Brae Essential Set. We'll also be restocking that soon as well. But those have been, the favorites that people have wanted to get their hands on.
And I know you also said this too. I celebrate all people, bodies, and styles, and pride myself in hand selecting the perfect, empowering statement pieces. I provide the latest accessories and fashions at an affordable price. How do you define a statement piece today?
I think statement pieces are something, like I said, people are not, we're slowly trying to embrace like the colors browns and just, just embracing all bodies. So those are things that when I decided to pick some of my pieces, I was like, I want every size or every person to feel comfortable and wear this. So a lot of my tracksuits, for example, they are high waisted. They are, they cover those areas, those midriff areas. So that was big for me. And then soon we're going to be launching just ranges of sizes for all women. So there'll be like sweatpants and things like that. So I'm really excited about that. But the idea behind it is to just have comfort and coverage for everyone to feel supported and feel good about what they're wearing.
What are your demographics?
I would say my demographic would be, I guess because I've been just in the Charleston area for a while, I've been blessed to have a wide range of demographics. I've had supporters from every age. So from early 20s, I would say on to mid 50s. So I've been thankful for that. So I don't want to just necessarily pinpoint an age group because I have all women that have supported me and feel comfortable wearing my items.
What problem, Brae, does your product/brand solve for the average woman?
Like I said, I think, I even have my personal days where I just don't want to show my stomach. So a high waist line, or, if I want to wear sweatpants because I'm just not feeling myself, or a sweatshirt because I'm not feeling, the best fit that I can be today.
Yeah.
I think that's, those are things those are small things that solve a problem, but it makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel covered. It makes you still feel chic and, in the fashion, you're still hip and you're still on trend. But we got a little bigger sweatsuit today, or we got, more higher coverage with your leggings. So I think that is like a problem solver.
What is the current fashion trend for women?
I think that we are just fashion. Fashion is great because it's transcending so much. Because I think, like, you had your preppy look, you had your '90s look, and I think it's just transcending to, wear what size you want to wear. I think the bigger clothes are cool. I think fashion or sweatpants in summer and winter are a thing. I know women are just more so pairing, more athletic leisure things with heels. So I think that would be, the trend or something that I'm following, and something, a lot of my fashion people that I follow are wearing. So
Have you done thorough market research in order to find your niche?
I did have to. That's where that COVID research came in. Like I said, I've just been really grateful for people who've been doing it longer than me, and really having to, do trial and error. Just even like going state to state for different pop-up shops and just being involved in that and seeing what works and what doesn't. For the longest, before I feel like Charleston really had traction. I had a lot of traction in Charlotte and LA and other cities and bigger cities. So just trying to figure out what works for Charleston and what works for Charlotte, or, what set, for example, do I need to push more in the LA area when I'm doing social media and things like that.
What's ideal for Charleston now?
What is ideal for Charleston now? I think that's the beauty of Charleston. I think Charleston had this one look, and now a lot of people are moving here, so you're having different looks and aesthetics. So I think Charleston will forever have that classic look. Like I feel like that's that. But then every once in a while, Charleston has like a little specks of wanting to get razzle dazzle, and like, okay, I think sneakers are a newer thing on the Charleston scene. So Charleston is slowly but surely progressing.
Wow, that's amazing. What price segment, Brae, will your brand fall into?
So we have anything from $50 all the way to $100. The more quality pieces that are gonna, snug you in, it will be a little bit more on the $100 side. However, we do offer Afterpay, Klarna, Shop Pay to make it more affordable, and that's something that I wanted to do. Just for so people, I mean, I think people are more inclined to spend if they have options and installments. So we do offer that on the website. We do $40 Friday every Friday. So there's things that'll be on that sale tab. And then, I'm known for a sale, so I do pop-up sales as well.
Wow, that's just amazing. Speaking of money, how much money did you need to get there as far as your business?
To get my startup and start,
Yes, ma'am.
I think that I invested and started with 5,000. That was my start, but that did not. I have website cost. I have a photographer that I trust and I love, and I always will use him because he does really well. So start, though, that was my start. That was my budget, quote unquote. But that was my initial investment, and that just didn't include like product initially. That was, website, marketing materials. I do a lot of care instructions, the private labels, customized bags and things like that. So I did put a lot of money into that aspect because I wanted it to be done right.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of which, the Brae Collection believes, quote, when you look good, you feel good. I put a lot of time and love in our products, and I hope that the new Brae Collection piece will be loved. What's good about the Brae Collection?
What is good about the Brae Collection is that it is woman owned, it is Black owned, and it's something that I am very passionate about, and it's something that I really, really, really love. And I feel good when women tell me that they feel good, and they feel good about the material, or they feel good about feeling covered, or I was having this bad day and I bought something, and I even feel good about just shipping times. I pride myself in getting things done immediately. Like, it may not be as efficient, but I want people to get their stuff because I'm thankful that they shopped with me. So you will receive all of that. And like I said, it's just a lot of love and gratefulness in the product.
Absolutely. How has the supply chain issue matched with your shipping times?
Well, I'm actually getting ready to embark on that journey with the next line. So I haven't been affected with this last collection, but I think that with this new line, I will be affected just because even some of the communication is delayed from what I experienced in the beginning. It's really kind of hit or miss. A lot of people will say, expect this, but sometimes if you have a really good, reliable person, they will make sure that you'll get it in this time frame. So I think that I'll experience a little bit more of that with the new collection. But this one, I mean, UPS has been great. They've gotten my shipments on time. So I will check back in with you and let you know.
Yes, ma'am. And you also said this too, the late nights plus early mornings are real. Who was Brae Richardson late nights and early mornings trying to get the Brae Collection off the ground?
It was no sleep, watching reruns of Scandal, and just working and researching. Once I'm stuck into things and just trying to get it finished, I'm stuck. I'm there, and then I wake back up the next morning to figure it out. But with that, I really had to also figure out just sleeping and noting the importance of sleeping, because that is important. So I've had to really transition and be like, okay, no, we're going to wind down at this time. You need to go to bed. And then if you didn't get enough hours, you cannot wake up super early. You need another hour of sleep. And then just factoring in, I finally got back into just my workout routine because I was just so work crazy. So I do believe in sleep. I am not the person that I say that I need to sleep when I'm dead. I do not believe that. I believe in sleep. I think it's important function of just life and living.
Absolutely, absolutely. Going back to obviously with the shipping, issues that are going on right now here across the country, how many orders have you actually shipped out on behalf of the Brae Collection?
How many artists in terms of like?
Yeah, the clothing.
I think I would say a little over 50 now. Yeah, a little over 50 now. But that all started, I mean, there were always issues. I remember, well, I will say this. I did have issues when I was first like trying to figure out what products I wanted and vendors I wanted to go with and sampling fabrics.
Yeah.
You know, that took a long time. But I think once you kind of build relationships and rapport with people, they kind of make sure your stuff gets out a little bit faster and they know what you want.
Right.
So I have been really lucky in that realm. But like I said, the new collection, I do think it's going to cause a little bit delay just because I'm, you know, designing things and figuring, you know, color schemes and stuff like that out.
Wow. And you also said this too, the Brae Collection, the soundtrack of my life right now, and this collection is definitely heard about us by the Carters. Just
Mhm.
this right here, and you obviously put, you know, up there. And you said, "Hey, I'm proud of it." But let me ask you this: you know, when you talk about obviously that verse one is for all. This line was about self love, vulnerability, and growth. How have you been able to love yourself while being vulnerable and growing all at once?
I think just realizing, I think when you tap into yourself and you really realize the importance of vulnerability, you're honest with yourself, you're transparent with yourself, and then you give yourself room to grow, and you give yourself room to really heal. Like I think a lot of times when we think of healing, it's like, okay, that's the period in that healing process. Like you don't have to, you know, dwell on it anymore. But I think healing truly is like okay, let me figure out, you know, something may trigger you. Let me figure out how to process this and then work this into my everyday life and maneuver. And so I think, like I said, COVID just was like realization of just life and Brae and okay, you know, figuring these things out and really just like really tapping into myself because you know event job stopped. So I just had to really just figure out but also just learn myself in that process and really like okay, you're bigger than this, you can also do this and you can have this as well. So I think that's just important. I think everyone needs to tap into, you know, their vulnerable self.
Yes, ma'am. And you also said this too. Verse one of the Brae Collection was inspired by women who embrace all that they are, their flaws, insecurities, beauty, and strength. Who is that woman in your life that has embraced flaws, insecurities, and beauty and strength?
I would say me. I mean, I based that on just embracing myself, embracing on, you know, things. I think sometimes growing up you don't realize some of the childhood traumas that you've had, or oh, I didn't like this about myself, or I do this because I'm insecure about this. So that really just had tapping into that and being confident in knowing who I am and, you know, going out and just being like, this is something that, you know, bothers me. I can either change it or I can either accept it and I can either embrace it. So really just deciphering those things. But I definitely had to embrace, you know, flaws. I used to, you know, not be a fan of my skin tone growing up. I love my skin. I embrace my skin. So really just having to just embrace yourself. That was something that I chose me for that particular line and embracing my flaws and insecurities.
What were your fashion and beauty or beauty flaws and insecurities before the Brae Collection?
I think, like I mentioned, some of my beauty insecurities would be my skin. I think growing up and you know just maneuvering through that was just very different. And then I, you know, started being in Charleston more because my family and just embracing my skin tone and just really seeing images of Black girls growing up was really important. And then I think fashion wise, I don't know. I think I was cool on the fashion. I think I was pretty cool on the fashion. I always just was really into trends and you know whatever was cool. So, but beauty, I definitely, you know, just seeing positive images of Black women was really important for me growing up and embracing that.
And you said this too on the website. This collection was about embracing and loving your skin tone and falling in love with self. How have you worked on your self image?
I think self-image wise, what I've worked on is I am an advocate for therapy. It is no secret. If you are on my social media in some capacity, I talk about it. So just being introduced to that and just really tapping into self. And like I said, like figuring out and healing and just figuring out past things that I thought I was over, or, oh, I didn't know this, you know, affected me, or, oh, I didn't know that I did this because of this. So I think that would be my answer for that.
How do you focus on betting yourself through accomplishments rather than physical attributes?
Ooh, bettering myself in physical I think really just listening, um, and just embracing the uncertainty of things. I think because I have a little bit of control freak in me that I just, I'm a time person. I like deadlines. I like things on time. I plan my day like that, and just really just having to embrace uncertainty was like something that I just feel like was bettering myself and just taking a breather.
Yeah, you're right about that. How have you reevaluate your idea of beauty since becoming an entrepreneur?
Um, I think that I just see beauty in everything. I think that I see beauty in struggle. I see beauty in, I don't necessarily take things as failures. I think they're lessons. But really just seeing beauty in everything other than a physical aspect. But, I, like 1 week before my launch, for example, I messed up and I didn't order something that I thought I ordered, or I didn't do this, and just really embracing, like, it's okay. This is your first time. This is your first run. Like, really embracing that so that I can figure out solutions so I can get what I need to get done.
Yes, ma'am. What have been those lessons that you, what were those failures that you now consider lessons in this business?
I think just underestimating myself, just not having enough of this product, what I thought would do well, but this, really just recognizing all aspects of business. I think it's different when you're on your own opposed to doing it for someone else, because I can market this well, because this has already been like a blueprint for marketing this event. But I think when you're doing it on your own, you're like, oh, okay, I need email marketing, social media marketing. Oh, there's a new thing called text message marketing, or just knowing when to say yes to being a vendor at a pop-up shop, or knowing when to say no, just really navigating what works best for your business. And it's different when you're doing it for yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Let me ask you, who is your dark skinned role model of today?
I think that I would have to say my mom. She's always had really, I suffered with acne when I was younger. So but she's always had beautiful skin, always been very confident. Always, she wanted long hair, she would have long hair. If she wanted to shave her head, she would shave her head. If she wanted to grow, like, she was very confident in who she was. And I think that really helped me kind of just get out of, you would go to school and you see these societal norms. And I think just her still being confident with who she was as a Black woman in some of, the leading roles that she was in. She was in a lot of predominantly white spaces. So I think that was just what I needed to see. And it still is. It's still pretty cool to see her just dominate and be confident in herself.
Absolutely. And you also said this too on the website. We hope this collection continues to inspire women to love, embrace themselves, practice self-care, continue to be vocal, and put themselves first. How will a Brae collection help others to love, embrace themselves, practice self-care, be vocal, and actually put themselves first?
I think just I am a firm believer in when you get up and, like, say if you are having just a bad day and you're like, I want to sit in the house, like, that is an absolute no. Like, I make myself get up, I make myself put on something. Just, even if I'm just feel like, just get, you start just really getting in that mindset of like, okay, I got to get up. I got to practice self-care. I got to be out the house. I got to breathe in fresh air. Even if that's like, if I would work out and I was just not feeling good, I would put on a cute workout set because I could just feel a little bit better. And so I think with the Brae collection, it's just, you have your leisure wear, you have your dresses, you have your sweats, but they're all something that'll just make you, feel good, love yourself, practice self-care. Self-care could be going to the coffee shop. Self-care could be going to grab a glass of wine, just really being out and just being able to get out that zone that is just making you feel down about yourself or whatever it is. I think that's what the Brae Collection does.
What will the Brae Collection be 5, 10 years from now?
One of my goals are to be in Nordstrom. So I'm speaking that and I'm claiming that. But just really the Brae Collection to be on women that are inspiring, whether that be someone as huge as Michelle Obama or someone just women who are constantly putting themselves first, advocating for themselves, advocating for other women, advocating for just people in general. So that is my goal for the Brae Collection.
And maybe a brick and mortar store here on King Street?
Maybe. Maybe.
That is amazing. This is going to be probably a redundant question, but what clothing item describes you from your collection?
I would say the Brae Essential Set for my collection. That's like my top. That's because every time I wear it, and I had the first sample that came in, and I'm like, dang, this thing is just doing well. The wear on it, the just washing it and cleaning it does really well. So I think that would be my top.
Wow, that's just amazing. Well, Brae Richardson, thank you so much for your time, and again, welcome back to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you. I appreciate it greatly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.